In the heart of Queensland's wilderness, a family getaway quickly turned into a nightmare no one saw coming. Dr. Dave Hogbin, a devoted doctor and father, was enjoying a peaceful day by the Annan River with his wife Jane and their young sons. But in an instant, everything changed. How could a serene moment in nature take such a terrifying turn? And what lengths would one go to in the face of the unimaginable? As the family explored the riverbank, the ground beneath Dr. Hogbin suddenly gave way. In an instant, he was swallowed by the murky waters of the Annan River, known for its lurking crocodiles. Jane, reacting with the instincts of a mother and a wife, lunged forward and grabbed his arm. But here's where things took a terrifying turn. A massive 16-foot crocodile emerged, its eyes locked onto Dr. Hogbin. The struggle that followed was nothing short of harrowing. Jane held on with all her strength, but the crocodile's grip was relentless. In that moment, Dr. Hogbin made the ultimate sacrifice. Realizing that his struggle was pulling Jane toward the water, he let go of her hand. It was a selfless act, ensuring her safety even as he faced the unimaginable. And just like that, the man who had dedicated his life to saving others was gone. Jane's screams echoed through the wilderness, but help was miles away. The terror of the moment was matched only by the eerie silence that followed. Authorities were quickly notified, and the search for Dr. Hogbin began. The Queensland Police, State Emergency Service, and wildlife officers launched a massive search operation. Boats scoured the river, helicopters hovered above, and drones scanned the dense vegetation, all in a desperate attempt to find any sign of him. For days, hope flickered as the search teams combed the area. Then, a grim discovery brought a chilling end to the search. Wildlife officers located a large crocodile in a creek not far from where the tragedy had occurred. It was captured and euthanized, a necessary but somber task. Inside, human remains were found, believed to be those of Dr. Hogbin. The family's worst fears had been confirmed. This heartbreaking incident not only underscores the dangers of the Australian wilderness, but also highlights the profound love and bravery of a man who put his family's safety above his own. Dr. Hogbin's story resonated deeply, leaving a legacy of courage that will never be forgotten. His sacrifice serves as a poignant reminder of the unpredictable power of nature and the unbreakable bond of family. Dr. Dave Hogbin was more than a doctor. He was a lifeline for many, and the cornerstone of his family. His story began in Newcastle, New South Wales, where he traded a career in real estate for the noble pursuit of medicine. It wasn't just a job, it was his calling. After graduating from the University of Notre Dame in 2014, he poured his heart into his practice, first at Windale Community Medical Centre and later at Jules Medical Centre. His patients knew him as a compassionate listener and a dedicated healer. But Dave wasn't just a doctor. He was a hero long before tragedy struck. At home, Dave was a devoted husband to Jane and a loving father to their 3 boys. Balancing the demanding world of medicine with the joys of fatherhood wasn't easy, but he made it seem effortless. His family was his world, and every decision he made reflected that deep love. Jane described him as a wonderful husband, father, son, brother, friend, and doctor, words that barely scratched the surface of the man he was. The Hogbin family's serene holiday in far north Queensland was supposed to be a break from the daily grind. They were enjoying the tranquility of the Annan River when their world turned upside down. Dave, walking along what seemed to be a safe path, suddenly found himself falling as the ground gave way. And then came the terrifying sight. A massive crocodile lurking just beneath the surface. Jane, without hesitation, grabbed his arm, trying to pull him to safety, but the crocodile's grip was too strong. In a split second, Dave made a decision that defined the rest of his life. He let go of Jane's hand, ensuring she wouldn't be pulled into the water with him. It was the ultimate act of love, selfless and heartbreaking. In the wake of his tragic death, the community he served so faithfully rallied to support his family. A GoFundMe campaign was launched, reflecting the outpouring of love and respect for a man who had touched so many lives. Friends, patients, and colleagues all shared stories of Dave's kindness and dedication. He wasn't just a doctor, he was a friend to all who knew him. The story of Dave Hogbin doesn't end with his passing. His legacy lives on in the lives he saved, the family he adored, and the countless people inspired by his bravery. His sacrifice serves as a powerful reminder of the strength of the human spirit and the boundless depths of a father's love. In the aftermath of this tragedy, there's a renewed call for awareness about the dangers of crocodile-infested areas. Dave's story is a sobering reminder of nature's unpredictability and the importance of caution. His family, while mourning a profound loss, continues to honor his memory by advocating for safety and sharing the story of a man whose heroism knew no bounds. Dr. Hogbin's legacy is one of courage, compassion, and unwavering love. He leaves behind not just a grieving family, but a community that will forever remember the man who gave everything for those he loved. His life and final act of bravery are a testament to the strength of character that defined him, a legacy that will inspire for generations. Crocodiles are an undeniable force of nature, and in Queensland, they're more than just creatures of myth. They're a real danger. As the population of saltwater crocodiles continues to grow, especially in the northern parts of the state, their habitats increasingly overlap with human activity. In fact, it's not unusual to see these ancient predators near tourist hotspots, which creates a real challenge for safety. The waters around places like Cairns, Port Douglas, and Cooktown are well known for crocodile sightings, sometimes in broad daylight. The risks are real and, unfortunately, have led to tragic encounters over the years. Over the years, Queensland has seen more crocodile attacks than many realize, with nearly 50 recorded since 1985. While these attacks are relatively rare, they highlight the dangerous potential when humans and crocodiles cross paths. One infamous case involved a man who was killed while swimming in an area known for its crocodile activity. His death led to increased awareness and calls for more safety measures. Crocodile attacks aren't just a possibility, they're a reality that authorities are working hard to prevent. But it's not just tourists who are at risk. Even locals have found themselves in dangerous situations as these apex predators roam ever closer to developed areas. To combat the rising threat, Queensland has put in place a variety of public safety measures. One of the most significant initiatives is the Be Crocwise campaign, which aims to educate both residents and tourists about the dangers of crocodile-prone areas. This campaign encourages people to stay far from water edges, especially in areas marked as crocodile habitats, and warns against swimming in unfamiliar or unprotected waters. The message is clear: assume every waterway could have a crocodile lurking beneath the surface. Authorities also advise the public to stay vigilant and report any crocodile sightings to the local authorities, ensuring they can take swift action. Despite these efforts, the tension between human expansion and wildlife conservation continues. New laws are now in place to curb the number of crocodile interactions. These laws focus on behaviors that increase risks, such as feeding or approaching crocodiles too closely. Interestingly, these laws aim to remind people that while Queensland's crocodiles are part of the environment, they are also incredibly dangerous. Any behavior that increases the likelihood of interaction, whether through carelessness or ignorance, can result in hefty fines. The laws have sparked debate, but they are seen as necessary to protect both the public and the crocodiles themselves. Managing crocodile populations is a complicated task, and Queensland's government has rolled out a structured crocodile management plan, QCMP, to address it. Under this plan, the state has divided areas into specific zones based on the risk level posed by the crocodiles living there. In the most high-risk areas, authorities have gone as far as removing crocodiles if they pose a direct threat to human safety. However, in more remote parts of the state, the focus is on monitoring and relocating the animals if they get too close to populated areas. But these measures don't always guarantee safety. Crocodiles are highly territorial and mobile, meaning a relocated crocodile can still end up in a place where it's dangerous for humans. Looking back, some of the most severe attacks have occurred in places where people were either unaware or disregarded safety warnings. For example, tourists swimming in the waters of Katoomba, Queensland, despite being clearly informed of the crocodile danger, found themselves in perilous situations. This serves as a harsh reminder: crocodiles don't respect boundaries, and human behavior must change to ensure safety. It's not enough to just warn people. Actions need to follow, such as keeping a healthy distance from the water and taking responsibility for the environment around them. Despite the growing risks, crocodiles are an essential part of Queensland's natural ecosystem, and managing their population is a delicate balance. As the state's tourism industry flourishes, so too does the need for education and vigilance. The government's focus on increasing public awareness, coupled with stricter laws and guidelines, is essential in reducing the number of crocodile-related incidents. By working together, locals, tourists, and authorities, Queensland can keep its inhabitants safe, both human and croc alike. The tragic death of Dr. David Hogbin, a beloved father and respected medical professional, shocked his family, friends, and the broader community. On August 3rd, 2024, Dr. Hogbin was on a family vacation in Queensland when the unthinkable happened. While walking along the riverbank near Cooktown, the ground suddenly gave way beneath him, sending him into the Annan River. There, a crocodile lurking in the waters seized the opportunity to attack. In the midst of this horrifying moment, Dr. Hogbin made an unimaginable choice. He chose to release his wife, Jane, from his grasp to save her, even as he fought to survive. Tragically, he was taken by the crocodile, leaving Jane and their 3 young children behind. In the wake of the tragedy, the response from the community was nothing short of extraordinary. The support for the Hogbin family poured in almost immediately, with local residents and strangers alike coming together to offer what they could. A GoFundMe campaign was quickly set up to help with expenses, and within days, it raised over $100,000. This gesture of financial support was a clear indication of how deeply Dr. Hogbin's selfless act had impacted people. The funds would help alleviate the financial strain as the family navigated their grief and loss. In addition to the financial support, the community took steps to honor Dr. Hogbin's life and legacy. Memorials were set up around Cooktown, giving the public a place to reflect on the life of a man who had been not only a skilled doctor, but also a devoted father and husband. These memorials served as a place for the community to come together, to mourn, and to celebrate the memory of someone who had touched so many lives in his lifetime. The love and respect for Dr. Hogbin were evident in every corner of the town, and these memorials became a lasting tribute to his heroism. The Hogbin family also received significant emotional and psychological support following the tragedy. Counseling and mental health services were provided to help them process the immense grief that comes with such a loss. Dr. Hogbin's wife, Jane, and their children were given the space and support they needed to begin the healing process, surrounded by their community's care. The emotional toll of losing a loved one is never easy, but in times like these, the support of others can make all the difference. This tragedy also ignited important conversations about the risks associated with wildlife in Queensland, especially crocodiles. The attack highlighted the dangers people face when entering habitats where crocodiles reside. Local authorities began reviewing safety measures and ramping up public education efforts to help prevent similar incidents. The Hogbin family's loss became a turning point for those living in or visiting the region, urging them to be more cautious and informed about wildlife safety. The death of Dr. Hogbin, while devastating, sparked an outpouring of community support and an important conversation about wildlife safety. His legacy of bravery, love, and selflessness will not be forgotten, and the lessons learned from this tragedy will continue to resonate in the hearts of many. Dr. Dave Hogbin's tragic passing in the Queensland wilderness was a heart-wrenching reminder of the unpredictable and often dangerous power of nature. His final selfless act, sacrificing his own life to ensure his family's safety, spoke volumes about his character and love for his wife and children. This incident not only shattered the Hogbin family's world, but also left an indelible mark on the community that knew and loved him. The outpouring of support, both financial and emotional, demonstrated the profound impact Dr. Hogbin had on those around him. His legacy, built on years of compassion as a doctor, continues to inspire acts of kindness, courage, and resilience in the face of unimaginable hardship. While this tragedy highlighted the dangers of crocodile-infested areas, it also sparked an important dialogue about wildlife safety in Queensland. It has become clear that, while crocodiles are a vital part of the ecosystem, human interaction with these predators must be approached with extreme caution. The heightened awareness and strengthened safety measures that have followed this incident could save lives in the future, as they encourage greater vigilance from both locals and tourists. Ultimately, Dr. Hogbin's story is one of heroism, love, and sacrifice. His commitment to his family and his community, even in his final moments, will live on as a testament to the strength of the human spirit. While his loss is immeasurable, the lessons learned from his life and his tragic death will continue to shape the way people approach safety in the wild, ensuring that his legacy endures in more than just memories, but in actions that help protect others. Dr. Dave Hogbin's incredible sacrifice reminds us of the depths of love and courage. His story also raises important questions about wildlife safety and the risks we face in nature. What can we learn from his bravery? How can we protect ourselves and respect wildlife in the future? Thank you for watching. If you found this story moving, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. Stay safe out there.